Hi, my name is Hunter. I'm an accountant at Standish Management, and today I would like to talk to you about what a closed-ended fund is. So let's talk about what an open-ended fund is first, because that's actually a concept easier to understand, and I guess it's a lot more relevant to most people out there. So hypothetically, say for example, you have some money laying around, and you would like to invest it to get a better return. So you go to the bank and say, hey, banker, I would like to invest my money somewhere. And the banker says, great, you can put your money into what's called a mutual fund. So let's see how that goes. You put money into a mutual fund, and then the fund itself invests in certain investments. Now, what kind of investments are these? These are public investments. When you're talking about an open-ended fund, these are public investments. So as you may or may not know, you can enter and exit out of public investments whenever you want. So for example, you can buy a Amazon stock or a Google stock at any given day and sell it at any given day, or even time within a day. So that's why it's called the market is open. And so that means you can put money into the fund, and the fund can put money into investments, and simultaneously you can exit out of investments whenever you want. Investments can give you money back, like such, at any given time. Therefore, these funds are called open funds. Now, closed-ended funds are completely different. What closed-ended funds are, well, I mean, I guess it's not completely different. It's a similar structure. It's also you put money into a fund, and the fund puts in investment, puts the money into investments. And why are they closed? So say, for example, these investments are illiquid investments. Now, what do I mean by illiquid investments? Have you seen that movie, The Social Network, where Zuckerberg goes to a venture capitalist called Accel to ask for money, right? So once Zuckerberg gets that money from Accel, what do you think Zuckerberg is going to do with that money? He's probably going to buy computers, hire people, things of that nature, right? So if you as an investor ask your fund, say, hey, I would like to buy a car now, so I want my money back. The fund cannot go to Facebook and say, hey, so-and-so wants his money back. Can you give him his money back? Facebook is going to tell you, no, I can't, because my money is locked up in computers and I use that money to pay salary. Now, so the fund is going to wonder, well, how am I supposed to get that money back from Facebook? And the answer is what's called a liquidity event. Liquidity event, right? And there's two types of liquidity events. One is a sale to a bigger company. And the second type is IPO. Now, if you think about it, these two types of liquidity events are more or less the same thing, right? Because if you sell your company to a bigger company, that means the bigger company is buying your equity. If you sell in an IPO, you're essentially selling your equity as well, albeit not the whole thing, but just part of it. So that's why when a liquidity event happens, the investment can pay back the fund, and the fund can pay you back. And only when that happens. Now, liquidity event is not as fluid as an open market event, right? So in the open market, or in the open fund, you can get your money back whenever you want. That's not the case with a closed-ended fund. You have to wait for the liquidity event, and God knows when the liquidity event happens, right? Of course, there's planning for it, but it cannot happen upon your demand. All right, so let's continue with our next video about the structure of a closed-ended fund.